Hey Renegades, it's Dennis Fassett, the Cash Flow Mercenary. And welcome to, I believe it's week 6 of the Renegade blog. Renegades, what I want to do is build on my post last week. I got some grief and I got some good feedback on my post last week about spending money on education. I want to kind of extend that a little bit and give you some full disclosure that I sell information products. Okay, so I had one comment about that. It wasn't about buying my stuff. It was just about buying stuff in general. And kind of as on a tangent, I want to say that I'm launching 3 new businesses this year in my spare time, and I not so recently, signed up for some information products and some coaching that has been unbelievable. And just one of the documents that I received in this coaching program basically accelerated my learning, basically cut my learning curve down by a year. And I learned 2 other incredibly important and useful techniques that I never would have learned on my own ever without talking to somebody and buying the information. So I don't think there's any substitute for when you want to get to cash flow as fast as possible. Find somebody who's done it before and buy the information from them if they're selling it. I know, as like I said last week, as real estate investors and entrepreneurs, we've got this rockhead syndrome sometimes, and we've got to do it ourselves. But again, the glory is not in climbing the mountain. The glory really is getting to cash flow and getting your first check. So that's that's what I'm all about. And let me just kind of put it in perspective. This is a tale of 2 women, 2 ladies that I know. They both bought apartment buildings over the last couple of years. The first one, bright lady, understood that commercial property is the place to be, wanted to diversify her income, being in this area, and sought out commercial properties to buy. She found a small 5-unit building. Again, you may have heard me talk about this one before. Did her, very brief due diligence, cashed out her savings in her 401k, and then bought the building. Well, she's, again, did a little bit of research on the internet, didn't think it was that complex, thought she understood the numbers, and acted. I mean, she had part of it right in that she really had the action mindset, but she was overconfident in what she thought that she knew. She didn't think it was more of a hubris thing than anything else. She thought she knew it well enough to go ahead and do it. Well, it turned out that when she calculated her net operating income and the monthly cash flow, the monthly cash flow equaled her debt payment. And guess what? She didn't take into consideration repairs and maintenance. She didn't take into consideration taxes, and she didn't take into consideration insurance. So this poor lady was underwater from month 1 on this apartment building, and she cashed out a work 401k, borrowed against her work 401k to keep it afloat for another few months, and finally she exhausted every dime of savings that she had, all of her retirement accounts, and she finally decided she had to let it go. And that's when she called me to do a short sale, and again, the lender was really unsophisticated. It was a nice building, but the lender didn't understand. It was a couple of years ago, and they had no clue what a short sale was. So we couldn't do that, and she lost the building and all of her retirement accounts. 32, 33 years old, and starting absolutely from scratch, having lost a little over $100,000 in retirement savings. Sad story. Second lady that bought an apartment building a couple of years ago, again, had been in real estate before, kind of knew the game, and knew that she didn't know everything that she needed to know about buying an apartment building. So she did a lot of research, bought some information from several different people, because again, you really want to get your arms around what's out there when you're looking to buy an apartment building. And realized that at a certain point that she had enough information, started looking and beating the bushes, and had a couple of false starts, and finally bought a building. And this lady was more successful. She did her numbers more right than the first lady, but she still made some mistakes because she wasn't a finance person, and she didn't she didn't ask for any help when she did the due diligence. So she did the due diligence mostly right, but she didn't do a rent survey. She didn't realize that the rents had fallen in the area, and so she was a little bit off in her analysis. But it was still, the margin of error was still such that the building cash flowed. It just wasn't as profitable as she thought it was going to be, and it would probably was going to take a year, maybe two, before she'd get the rents back up again to cover the gap in her analysis. So, yeah, are you still going to make mistakes when you buy information and buy training and information from other people? Yes. But what I think you're going to do is you're going to reduce the magnitude of the mistakes you're going to make. They're going to be less severe, and most likely, if you do it right and you listen to the people you're buying information from, they'll most likely be recoverable mistakes. They're not going to be fatal mistakes. We could live with flesh wounds and paper cuts all day long. We want to avoid the landmines and the hand grenades and that type of thing. And really, that's really what buying information and buying knowledge from other people gives you is the opportunity to walk in somebody else's shoes and learn from their mistakes and learn from, hopefully, whatever fatal mistakes are out there, so you can avoid them and make smaller mistakes, because you're going to make mistakes. Guaranteed you're going to make mistakes. But I'm a big fan of buying information. I've spent thousands of dollars on it, and I continue to spend money on it right now as I'm launching these new businesses, and I'm continually blown away by how much people know about stuff that I want to know, that I need, and how much I need this information. And I'm happy to write them a check every month for it, and with my thanks and my testimonial and everything like that, because the information can be that good. So this is Dennis Fassett, the Cash Flow Mercenary, with a long post on as a follow-up to my post on buying information. I think you should do it. Find somebody that's done it before, walk the walk before you, and go to school in their experience. There's no substitute for doing that. Again, this is Dennis Fassett, the Cash Flow Mercenary. We'll talk again next week.